I bought the cheapest set of adjustable dumbbells I can find. These are the Cap Adjustable Dumbbells. They come in at 55 pounds as their peak resistance, and they go all the way down to 10 pounds with adjustments in 5-pound increments. They have this cradle design here, which is really common for adjustable dumbbells. And to adjust the weight setting, you just put it in the cradle, twist the handle, and each one of those clicks you're hearing, that's adding or subtracting 5 pounds at a time. So right now it's at 30, give it a good twist, and I'm already up to 50 pounds of resistance. And that's something that's really surprised me about these dumbbells, is being the cheapest dumbbells, they're also probably, the easiest dumbbells to change the resistance on. The only thing to keep in mind here is they have to be in the cradle to actually adjust the resistance. Now, at first that might sound kind of inconvenient, but personally it's actually kind of nice because all of your weight plates, when they're not in use, they have a nice resting place and they're not going to be scattered all over your home gym. You just have to put your handle right on there, and then you can adjust it from there. The handles here are just the right length. I've seen a few handles that are really wide on adjustable dumbbells. I don't quite get that. And these ones here, they fit nicely in the hand. It's a metal handle with some knurling on it, and it feels really good with or without gloves. So right now I'm at 10 pounds. If I twist it once, I'm already up to 55 pounds, and that's going to be your peak resistance again for these. And that is enough for what I think most home gym users are looking for. But if you bench maybe 200 plus pounds on the regular, if you've been lifting for a long time, you might want to be looking for dumbbells that go to a higher weight setting. So there's kind of like 3 different tiers of adjustable dumbbells. There's some that go about to 25 pounds, some that go to 55, and then there's some that go to 80 plus pounds. So, I like to think about, if you're at the gym, which dumbbells would you be reaching for? Are you reaching for dumbbells that are 60, 70 pounds? Well, if that's the case, you probably are going to want to get the heavier dumbbells. If you are normally reaching for those 10s or those 20s, you're probably going to go for the lighter dumbbells because they're going to be a little bit smaller. These are pretty substantial dumbbells, right? They go up to 55 pounds. They're pretty large, and having a smaller footprint dumbbell can kind of be nice. And then also you're going to save a bunch of money. You can probably get those for 150, maybe 125, maybe even less on the right sale. And so if you're doing a lot of lifts with only 10, 15, 20 pounds racked up, these can feel a little awkwardly large. So they're pretty long. And if you compare them to a normal dumbbell, you really see the difference here. And so that extra length, it doesn't really create much of a balance issue, but sometimes it can cause a range of motion issue where maybe the end of the dumbbell is hitting your body, and so you can't do the full range of motion that you'd like on a few lifts. That can be an issue. Another thing that can come up too that's kind of related to balance is, and this is only for chest exercises, it's that the handle sometimes will want to twist in your hand, so the heaviest part of the dumbbell is facing down. And the reason this is going to happen is these weight plates here, they're in a U-shaped design. So if you have all of the weight here at a 90-degree angle, they want to twist and face downwards. So you kind of need to be deliberate on some of these exercises on how you grip the dumbbells. And if they're twisting, my recommendation is just let them twist and then go about your set. Don't try to avoid or counteract the twist. It's just going to be kind of annoying. So that's kind of just something that's going to happen with these plates all being a U shape, is they're going to want to twist sometimes like that. Doesn't come up too much, but when it does, just let it happen. Now these plates, they're 5 pounds each, and they're covered in plastic here. There's some 2.5 pound plates, and you adjust both at the same time. That's how you get your 5 pound increments. Now inside your dumbbell, this is all plastic, and so this is not going to be the sturdiest of dumbbells on the market. There's some that's going to have metal in here, and I've seen some companies will have drop tests where they even just like throw them off a building to show how strong their dumbbells are. If you did that with these, I think these would break. Plastic in here is not going to be as good as metal, but you got to take care of these. So don't be dropping them at the end of your set. Set them on the ground. They're strong, but they're not going to take a big collision here. If I threw this across the room, I kind of would expect this to break, as you would a lot of things. So another thing that can happen sometimes too is when you're putting these back in the cradle, is sometimes they get stuck here, and you have to kind of like jiggle this around a little bit to get it to slide down. Not a big issue, especially when you have more weight racked up, because when you have a lot of plates in the cradle here, there's a lot of things you have to line up. If you only have 1 or 2 plates left, it's easier to place them here in the cradle. And it really helps to lift straight up and down, and that's going to help, you know, keep the alignment a little bit better. So that's really it for cons. You know, for pros, again, it's all going to be about that price point here. It's so easy to adjust these things, and overall, I think these are, you know, a really good setup for most home gym users. So if you have questions about these, post them in the comments below. I'll get back to you. And also, you know, if you're looking for, you know, follow-along workouts for adjustable dumbbells, that's primarily what I'm here to do, is to create these free follow-along workout routines. They're here on the channel. So if you're looking, you know, you've got some dumbbells, you want to get in better shape, check out those workouts, make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, and be good to yourself, be good to others, and thanks for watching.